Ba-da-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum. Welcome back to my Mission Impossible series of reviews leading up to Part 7 coming out, Dead Reckoning. We are now talking about Mission Impossible 3, which is a lot better than Mission Impossible 2. I really do not like Mission Impossible 2. I think most people don't, but Mission Impossible 2 is really bad. This is a pretty decent movie. Um, it is a very interesting movie because this is actually J.J. Abrams' first film, and J.J. Abrams nowadays gets a lot of hate because of his Star Trek movies and his couple Star Wars movies he did. But to be honest, he's a good director, at least visually. I don't so much like the plot of like Force Awakens or some of the writing in that movie. Uh, Definitely don't like any Rise of Skywalker for the most part. I mean, I'm always gonna love parts of Star Wars movies because I'm a Star Wars fan, but yeah, that movie's a fucking mess. So Star Trek movies are kind of messy, but the thing that all those movies have in common is they're all beautifully done movies. They're really beautiful movies when you just look at them visually, and this movie remains no different. Just from the opening of this film alone to just basic scenes of Tom Cruise's character walking around, or just action scenes, which are all awesome in this movie. They're actually all really well put together. It's just the plot of this movie that's not great. I think it's a little too frantic at times. Hard to really let things sink in of what's actually happening because it's moving from set piece to set piece, which are all really good. And they once again feel like Mission Impossible action sequences, unlike the last movie where they felt more like James Bond sequences. But it also just means that like it's a little too fast paced. Where I feel like some of the better Mission Impossible movies are able to make you feel more grounded in the actual situation. Where this movie just kind of keeps going, and doesn't really give any moments to let up. And there are action movies that do that well. I think this one just isn't one of those. But I still think it's a fun movie. It's got some good action sequences, and I think this movie often does kind of get forgotten about because the franchise has become so much better over time, which is crazy to think about. I can't really think of a lot of movie franchises where we get to the fourth or fifth or sixth, seventh installment or whatever, and they're still improving. 4 improved upon 3 in this franchise, right? How unusual is that? It's just great. It's a great franchise. I never really realized that because I've never really sat down and watched all these movies for the first time, but this is awesome.